Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a long one. We're going to do an old character tier list for the year 2023 for Injustice Mobile. But Sigval's not 2023 yet, it's 2 days off, okay? And they're not going to release any characters or any patches until then, so we might as well do it now. Now, before we get into this, few things to point out. This is going to be mainly based on rates and soul rates. I will keep in mind somewhat the Arena and Champions Arena performance, but that's for B tier and below. No characters on this list will make it above B tier if they are useless in rates and soul rates, because Arena and Champions Arena are game modes that are not really that hard. They reward the volume of play rather than the quality of single fights. So the characters that you build for soul rates anyway are gonna do well for you in Arena and Champions Arena, while it's not the other way around. So you're not gonna see stuff above B tier. That's gonna be good in Arena. And you might see some things that you think to yourself they're gonna be weird. For example, Silver Dr. Fate's gonna score higher than Darkseid, because that's kind of the reality of it for rates and soul rates. Also, this is 1000% accurate, and you can't argue with me. My opinion is final, and it's the right one. Obviously, it's my opinion. Feel free to comment down below if you disagree with something specific. But look, I'm just gonna straight up ignore you if I put, for example, Blue Beetle in D tier, and you're like, oh, I think Blue Beetle would have deserved C tier. So, well, I think that's huge. Nobody cares, my dude. I'm sorry. And another thing, this is gonna be for the free-to-play side of things. I will not keep in mind one bit the pay-to-win artifacts, but we have a secondary tier list somewhat where I will do some mentions for the pay-to-win side of things, like how better the characters are here if you have specific pay-to-win artifacts. This is gonna have just 2 tiers, which is gonna be better for pay-to-win and much better for pay-to-win. Generally speaking, with this, you're going to go back to this, see where I put them here, and if they're better for pay to win, they're gonna go up a tier. If they're much better for pay to win, they're gonna go up 2 tiers, or something like that. Yeah, and one last thing, we're going to have percentage held characters like Influence, Aquaman, Black Adam, Deathstroke. Those percentage held characters might not seem that great to you depending on where you are right now in soul rates, because let's say you're fighting a 100 million total health fight. Deathstroke will not be able to kill that. The Justice League team will most likely be able to kill that. But when you go and fight the 2 billion health fight, Justice League team is gonna do at most 200 mil damage, and Deathstroke is gonna do 1.4 billion damage. So that's the thing. A lot of percentage health characters will take a bit of time to get better at it, because they do more damage the more healthy enemy bosses. But trust me, this is gonna be accurate for 90% of the duration of the soul rates. Might not be accurate for normal tier, but after you get off of normal tier, you'll really see the benefit of percentage health characters as the enemies get more health. And yeah, let's get into it. Aquaman, I love him, I appreciate him B tier. He's useless, absolutely useless, dog shit trash in rates and soul rates, but he's amazing in Arena and Champions Arena, can heal your entire team, can power drain the enemy B tier. Ace Green Arrow, like, the B tier is not gonna be specific to Arena and Champions Arena, because Ace Green Arrow does not deserve B tier for Arena and Champions Arena performance only, because he's not that great at that. But he's gonna be a niche pick for soul rates, because, well, this can be circumvented in a lot of ways, with some free-to-play artifacts, with some pay-to-win artifacts, with some other characters that do it, with King's super move. If you need the enemy to not generate power or not get the super move, Ace Green Arrow can help you out. You might not need that, you might have other ways, but when it comes to power drain and power lock, Ace Green Arrow is going to be there for you. Arkham Knight Batman, I feel like he kind of deserves S tier nowadays. I previously gave him A tier, I think, but now he kind of buffs up a lot the Batman the Drown team, and he helps her out a lot, deal a ton of damage. So I feel like S tier is going to be a pretty good place for him. He can also be used as a combo builder for League of Anarchy, but he's not really used in that spot that much. But yeah, buffing Batman Drowned is gonna be great, and he's also amazing in Arena and Champions Arena. Though he's got S tier for the Batman the Drowned team up alone. Actually, that's S tier. A tier. A tier, my dude. We're gonna have something special in the SS tier. Yeah, A tier, my bad. He definitely deserves A tier. he is a good character. Or do we give him S tier? Nah, because I feel like he doesn't really do that much by himself. Like, he doesn't really do anything by himself. And with Batman the Drought, you can get him. He's gonna help you out. But at the same time, I don't want you to feel like it's a priority because she's fine without him. And there are other teams. Armored Superman, C tier. Is okay in Arena and Champions Arena, useless in Raids and Soul Raids. I mean, he can be a decent combo builder at the start when you literally just start off the game, because I think everybody's guaranteed to get this man. Just know he's not gonna be there for long. Atrocitus also B tier for some niche uses in Raids and Soul Raids. For example, when I use Nora Snow, Globkin, Flan, Sakomen, I like to have Atrocitus in there to power steal for me. And to get me to higher amounts of power and prevent the enemy from doing super move for a bit. I like Atrocitus, but no more than B tier. Trash. You're not gonna use her. You're just not gonna use her. Black Adam B tier. He can be two things, and I'm not gonna give him A tier for that because he's not that good at that, but he can be a decent budget damage dealer for Raids and Soul Raids. With Puppet of Zatanna, if you trigger that, you might get some decent results. So if you randomly get him from the arena seasons, you might do a little bit of a build on him and use him for a while until you eventually replace him. But he can be a placeholder for your teams. He can do a decent job. Bane also gonna get B tier. Yet again, some situational use in Raids and Soul Raids, because he gives you damage on basic hits. Like, you can put him with Manta, you can put him with Just Like Team. There's a few applications, you don't have to. It's most likely not gonna be the best character for that team, but if you've used some of the characters you normally used with that team, with other teams, he's gonna be there for you. Manta, I feel like A tier. Or do we give him S tier? I really don't know about this one, because if you get the fully built Manta, okay? If you get the fully upgraded Manta. Now let's put him at A tier. The thing is, this man is gonna be strong. He's gonna be real strong. If you max him out and you put him in Raven for the free-to-play side of things, you're gonna get your 2 billion damage. But it's gonna be a huge amount of work to get this man maxed out, and he scales all the way up to, I think, 6 stars with his passive, and you get more and more out of it the higher star rating he is. So I feel like A tier is gonna be for most people, because most people are gonna be running 4-star Manta, because there's a long list of priorities you need to check before upgrading your Manta all the way up to 6 stars. I feel like A tier, though a fully maxed out perfect build Manta can maybe make it into S tier. I feel like for most people it's gonna be A tier. I'm gonna just drop the whole Batman Ninja team into A tier over here. For the free-to-play side of things, obviously. Also, the SS tier is gonna have only 2 characters, so you might be like, oh, how are they 2 tiers below? There's gonna be only 2 characters here, because I really want to make the difference. But yeah, Batman Ninja team is a solid choice for the free-to-play side of things. You're gonna get a lot of damage out of Puppet of Zatanna, then out of Dark Maul cards with them. Batman Ninja Catwoman is gonna be the damage dealer. Yeah, great team overall, great team. Also a mention that's needed here. Grodd is going to be much better for the pay-to-win side of things, and they're just going to be better for the pay-to-win side of things, because you're going to get a bit more from Batman Catwoman, because you can use Joker as Batarangs or Beta Club, and with Grodd for the pay-to-win side of things, you can pair him up with Brainiac with Beta Club and get one of the most broken teams in the game. But yeah, I feel like A tier is a good spot for them, generally speaking. Okay, so this man, C tier, I guess, like Blade Master Robin, he can be a combo builder. He can be a decent combo builder, actually, but we don't really have teams that need that. But he's doing something. Batman Who Laughs, I feel like A tier as well. The thing is, he's a Dark Metal team member, okay? He's gonna be in the same team with Batman the Drowned, who's gonna score much higher on this list. In theory, but in practice you're unlikely to use him there, because he's got better support characters. Really depends if you have Arkham Knight Batman or him. And him by himself, on top of not boosting Batman the Drowned that much and not being really required for that team, it doesn't do that much. He does percentage health damage, but we have characters that are a bit better at that. He's good. He's still very good, but I don't feel like he deserves more than A tier. This is trash, get this out of my face. Bro, let me do a bit of a rant about this, man. Batman Ninja Batman Who had the idea of giving this man a passive that gives him crit chance if he gets hit by a crit hit that he doesn't block? Who would do that on purpose, my dudes? I'm gonna put Batman Ninja Harley at C tier because just by having her in the roster, you boost a bit the attack of the Batman Ninja characters, though the amount that she boosts it by is very negligible. Like, this was relevant like 3 or 4 years ago when we did not have soul rates and soul rate artifacts, and you would need to squeeze every last bit of damage out of your Batman Ninja team for league rates. But nowadays, nah, bro. Lord Joker, I'm gonna put him at C tier. Maybe B tier. He can be a budget damage dealer if you don't have gears for Bat Ninja Catwoman. You can use him with Robin and Grods or with Robin alone because you got the gears from the Arena store. He's also got an Arena season, so he's gonna be relatively easy to get your hands on, okay? He's gonna be relatively easy to get your hands on. Yeah, he's a bit nerfed because they recently bumped up the cost of his third special. I don't think it matters that much, but it's worth to mention. He can be a budget damage there for you, though ideally you want to have that Ninja Catman. Brainiac for the free-to-play side of things? Nah, bro, I feel like B tier. For the free-to-play side of things, Brainiac is gonna be boosting your legendary characters a fair bit. So it's not gonna be that much. For example, I had fights where I had Mr. Freeze, where I tried with Brainiac in the team. And then I tried without Brainiac in the team and something else like a Vixen and Wonder Woman. And if I'm using a free-to-play artifact like Puppet of Zatanna, for example, I was literally kind of getting the same damages because the lethal attack damage he gives me was simply not high enough to make up for the time lost to do that. But for the pay-to-win side of things, it's much, much better. Like, this man can get Raven to 2 billion damage with Beta Club. This man can get Grodd to 2 billion damage with Beta Club. Brainiac is absolutely amazing and insane for the pay-to-win side of things. For the free-to-play side of things, farm him. He's got a free challenge. You might use him with Manta, I guess. Might even use him with Mr. Freeze. But don't rush it. Just take your time. Batman the Drowns. S tier, one of the only 2 characters on this list, or maybe 3. I'll think about it. We do have a few more contestants for that tier. Yeah, the best character in the game by far. As far as investment versus performance goes, out of a 3-star Batman the Drowned, like a 3-star Batman the Drowned that I have on my secondary account, I think now she's 4 stars with like 4 gears. She gets damage comparable to my maxed out League of Anarchy, if we don't put Raven in any of the equations. And on my main account, she does easy 2 billion damage on any fight, yet again without using any of the pay-to-win artifacts, so she's great. Classic Batman. I mean, you put him in the classic team and he does stuff in the Arena and Champions Arena, I guess. I guess we can put all the classic team in B tier for Arena and Champions Arena performances. Just know you're not gonna use him in raids and soul raids. Captain Cold's the gold version, the simple gold version, D tier. He doesn't do anything. Cheetah D tier. Get the shit out of my face. I don't want to see her. Collector vs Superman. I feel like B tier. Yet again, it's gonna be one of those situations. You would rather use Manta with Brainiac or Mr. Freeze with Brainiac, but if you don't have any of them, then Collector will be a replacement to pair up with Brainiac to have a legendary character that can get buffed and do some damage for you. And he's pretty good. I'm still using him on the secondary account, but he's not gonna be there forever. You're eventually gonna replace him. Classic Superman B tier. Actually, I'm gonna put this man in C tier. It's both Classic Wonder Woman and Classic Superman have some utilizations in league rates and soul rates, because, for example, Classic Superman can reduce the defense of the enemy, and this is the reason why he's in B tier. Well, Classic Batman, you don't see him that much there, so I think we should make that difference. Blue Beetle garbage. I mean, we can give him C tier. Nah, garbage. Go argue with me in the comments why Blue Beetle is not garbage. I'm waiting for people to try to make a case. Well, simple, but he's good in Arena. I just can't wait for that. I'm putting him on purpose on D tier instead of C tier because I can't wait for people to argue for him being not that bad. Next up, Classic Wonder Woman gives you some crit damage, and that's gonna be decent. For the free-to-play side of things, I think that's going to be most useful for Batman Underground if you don't have Arkham Knight Batman, or for the League of Anarchy. But you need to keep in mind that she's going to be a bit better for the pay-to-win side of things, because she is going to be able to boost up a bit the beta club damage. Also, I think it's worth putting Manta here because his best artifact is Jokerized Batarangs, which is a pay-to-win artifact. He can do well with other artifacts. Keep in mind, it's not like he must have this artifact, but he's gonna do a bit better with it, okay? Deathstroke, S tier, at the tippity top of S tier. Like, by the way, those are not in order, but if I was to put anything in order, this man would be at the top of S tier, because this man does percentage hull damage, and he does the same amount as my boy here, Batman Flaps. And you might be like, well, why is he hard here then? Because his percentage hull damage is going to be on one of his abilities. What does that mean? It means that if you put Nora Snow Globe on him, let him die, get the clones in there, you're going to get percentage hull damage out of the clones, to the point where you have a 2 billion fight and you're going to use a 3-star Deathstroke that you don't even have gears for, with Nora Snow Globe at level 1, which is a free-to-play artifact, and get 1.4 billion damage. This man is absolutely insane. Dark Supergirl, she's dog shit. Her tagging doesn't even work properly, and they don't want to. They just don't want to fix it. Just import from Multiverse Armored Supergirl the tagging to her, and you're gonna be fine. Dark Side, I guess B tier. We can give him B tier for the Arena 9 Champions Arena performance. He's absolutely insane in Arena 9 Champions Arena, but useless in raids and soul raids. Emerald Green Lantern, yet again B tier for some niche use in raids and soul raids. Like, this man's got the tagging bonus that's gonna give you stun on basic hits. Then you're gonna put him with Harley, right? And stun? No, you're going to use him with characters that are fighting an enemy that has reflective shields. Because while the enemy is stunned, they can't use your reflective shield. So you're gonna try and get that buff of stun on basics. You're gonna stun them and then use a special. It's some niche use. You might put him in other teams at some points if you're missing a member. He's okay. He's not great, but he's okay. This is Enraged Pain D tier, absolute dog shit. Entangling Poison Ivy, S tier. Or SS tier. It's kind of weird, because I feel like Batman Underground is better than League of Anarchy currently. Much better. But the only problem with that is we only have 2 billion health to go around. While the League of Anarchy, and I'm gonna put the whole League of Anarchy over here while we're at it. Joker maybe deserves a tier lower, because he's not a must-have support. You're gonna actually get better results if you put Classic Wonder Woman with this team instead of him. You're obviously gonna get better results if you put Raven, and Joker is gonna be some niche use that you use in some very, very specific fights where the enemy is going to have some summons where Joker is gonna be able to take advantage of his passive. And he's a bit more convenient sometimes when you can't stun the enemy, though only sometimes, because as far as damage goes, even if you can't stun the enemy, Harley's gonna do more damage because he's got 3 fast tech hits. Yeah, I feel like A tier is a decent place for him, because he can do a ton of damage, but for a lot of the times he's gonna take a backseat for Harley. Though at the same time, you need to keep in mind that if you don't have Harley, he can definitely be used with DPI, he's amazing. And yeah, with League of Anarchy, this can do 2 billion damage without Raven if max out. She can do 2 billion damage without Raven if she's maxed out, but the problem is she can do that with something like 1 minute left while they struggle a bit. So I feel like she's got a bit more potential, even though that's not really needed currently, if that makes any sense. Like, she can do the required damage much faster than them, and if we had more health on bosses, we could do more damage. Also, she needs a bit less investment to get there, I feel like. So yeah, that's my reasoning. There are going to be only 2 characters in SS tier, and I just want to point out how strong she is for a character that you're going to get from a chest with an 8% chance to drop her at 3 stars. Firestorm is dog shit. Flora Poison Ivy's got a decent special too that armor pierces. This dog shit Wonder Woman character, honestly, I would put her C tier, if she was not in a challenge, but since she's in a challenge, B tier, I guess. I prefer Collector, but you can also use her as a budget damage dealer for a bit. In raids and soul raids, she's decent right in Champions Arena, but needs to be built for that. Also forgot to mention that Collector is absolutely insane in Arena Champions. We're like, this bit is our real, you just press special to it, you watch the enemy kill themselves. A grid C tier, I guess. He does a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna go over it. This stuff that's very specific and you're just not gonna use it, but it's there. It's there. Hawkman. B tier for now. Like the thing about Hawkman is he's going to double the combo that you do with your Flawed Justice team, which is currently comprised only of Black Adam. And Black Adam is a shit damage dealer except for the percentage hull damage. You add Hawkman in the mix and he's still a shit damage dealer without the percentage hull damage. And he doesn't buff that thing specifically. I feel like Hawkman will be a bit better as we get more Flawed Justice teammates because his passive looks good, but on characters that can actually take benefit out of it, so B tier for now. Hellboy. B tier or C tier? Let's go B tier. He's gonna heal instead of taking damage from Dot, which also applies to Hazard Dot. So if you have a fight that has those purple areas on the ground and you're getting your character killed, just use this man and he's gonna get healed instead as a combo builder. Horrific Scarecrow also B tier. He can be specifically used in some situations because he increases the power cost of the enemy's abilities. He can be used for convenience purposes. Ash. I'm sorry, D tier, he's absolute trash. I have even tried again to play him. Nah, bro, I don't like him. This is a character that they wanted to release 3 years ago or something, then they didn't release him and they released him 1 year ago and he shows his age. It's awkward to use as far as basic hit goes, and his design would have been great 3 years ago, where it would have been a bit above average, but nowadays it's just dog shit, I'm sorry. Justice League Aquaman. B tier, I feel like. He's gonna be a situational support for the Justice League team. The thing with him is that Justice League team is going to use him whenever they actually C tier. Because all the support characters that we have here, right, are going to be used by multiple teams. This man is gonna be only used by the Justice League team, which I'm gonna put here, because it's a team that you're going to use and is gonna be good for you until you get your top 6 teams. It's gonna be kind of a replacement team. It's gonna be a very strong team. I'm still using them on the secondary count, but you're gonna have better things than them, okay? And he's gonna be a specific support character for a budget team. And I'm very rarely using him because he gives them armor pierce on basic hits. A lot of the bosses in soul raids don't have armor. They just don't have armor, and you're going to get better results out of putting Bane with them. Like 90% or 95% of the fights I have Bane in there. I don't care about Aquaman usually. Batman. C tier, I guess. He buffs them up in Arena Champions Arena a bit. The Justice League characters. Just like Superman, B tier. If you get him anyway, still don't use him because you need to get his gears and those are hard to get. This man is a damage dealer that does less damage than Justice League Flash, but has legendary chest and legendary gear just to get him from, so nah, bro. He's amazing in Arena and Champions Arena, though. Justice League Green Lantern is gonna be A tier for the exact same purpose as Arkham Knight Batman, because they buff Batman Underground. Again, I don't really feel comfortable putting them in the same tier as her, because none of them are irreplaceable, okay? You can have other stuff that works at a bit less of a proficiency than them. And by themselves, they're not that great, but they are gonna be amazing at buffing her up. That's basically the reason. Nightmare Batman, C tier, just because he's good in Champions or in that defensive team, I guess. King of Atlantis, Aquaman, S tier. S tier, same situation as Deathstroke. Does a bit of percentage hull damage as much as Batman Laughs, actually a bit less than Batman Laughs, but he's gonna have that on an ability, which means, Nora Snow Globe, you're going to get 2 clones out of him, which each are going to be able to do that, and it gets to the point where he is going to do 1.4 billion damage with 0 gears and the level 1 artifact. Absolutely insane. If we're gonna compare the two of them, like the difference between them is that Deathstroke is a bit better at doing the percentage hull damage in a way. I feel like a bit faster about it, a bit better in fights where there's chaos tagging because you're gonna get a bit more out of him because before he gets tagged in. But Conflant Sakuman is gonna serve a double role because he also is a bit of a damage dealer himself, so he is going to also be able to clean up low health fights. Also, out of the characters we put here recently, is there anything, except for King, that deserves a better for the pay to win mention? Nope. Let's just put King there. Where is he? Yeah, there he is. It's gonna be better for the pay to win side of things because you have Beta Club. I'm not putting him as much better for the pay to win because he's already like S tier anyway. You put Beta Club on him, you put Raven, you get 2 billion, but yet again, you have a lot of teams that can do 2 billion for the pay-to-win side of things, so I feel like he's just slightly better, but he's absolutely insane for the free-to-play side of things as well. Black Adam, 8 tier. Also, I know I got some weird image for him, but yeah, just roll with it. Black Adam is gonna be 8 tier, literally doing the same thing as Bedlam Labs. Kind of a part of a specific team, though they are not gonna be seen in that team anyway. And they're gonna do a bit of percentage hull damage. It's on a passive, can't be multiplied by Nora Snowglobe, as with those two guys. They're good characters, real good characters. You're gonna fight a 2 billion health fight, they're gonna do 400 mil each or something like that. Also, I need a little bit of a water break here. Boy, this is gonna be a long video. Martian Mantor, I feel like B tier. Maybe even C tier. Thing about him is that all he does is build combo. We don't need combo builders, and even the teams that need combo builder, like this Revenge team, got Reverse Flash for that. And it's gonna be at points more inconvenient than Reverse Flash. And if you want to get him, you will have to open a Legendary chest and the Gear chest. I have Martian Mantor, I try to give him a lot of chances, I hate him. Screw Martian Mantor, C tier. Come on, go ahead, complain in the comments. Explain to me why Martian Mantor needs a higher tier. I'm waiting. Mr. Free is gonna be A tier for the free-to-play side of things because previous to North Snowglobe used like dumpster fire garbage for the free-to-play side of things, but thankfully that's Puppet of the 10, excuse me. Thankfully the Puppet of the 10 actually makes him viable for the free-to-play side of things. And he's gonna be quite strong, quite decent. Not on the S tier level, but quite decent, and he's gonna be so much better for the pay to win side of things. Like, nah, bro, Beta Club Mr. Freeze. That's the thing. That's the thing you have to be using. Master Chief Catwoman D tier, but Sigma, you can put her in the operations to get more cred. I don't care. Multiverse Armored Supergirl. Now, okay, since we're getting into the multiverse characters, and they're kind of the best characters if you're going to use Zatanna currently. Let's talk a little bit about Zatanna, because she's the only character that's bugged all the way to the point where it influences her tier placement. All the way to that point. She's so damn bugged. I'm gonna put her in the S tier. Look, she gives percentage hull damage currently to every single character in your team if the enemy is burning on their specials. By the way, put her in the first team slot, otherwise she literally won't do anything. And she also buffs their damage. Like, if we're being honest, maybe she would normally deserve A tier. Maybe she would normally deserve S tier as well. Because as far as percentage hull damage, she's on the same boat as those two guys. But she does a bit more. She adds some additional damage to your whole team. But currently she's bugged as hell and also gives all of them percentage damage, so I'm gonna put her in the S tier for now. But keep in mind the bug is influencing it a bit, though she might have made it there by herself without the bug. Multiverse team, I'm not gonna keep in mind the bug for like other characters because that's like taking it too far, because the Multiverse team is the best team to use with Zatanna currently, but that's because she's bugged as hell. So I'm gonna not keep that in mind for the Multiverse team. I'm gonna put Multiverse Armor, Supergirl, and Flash in B tier. They're gonna be yet again decent budget damage the other team. Like Flash is not gonna be the damage, there is gonna be the support character, but they're gonna be decent, okay? That you're not really gonna use them for. You might use them for long, but they're not the best. They're not in the best 6 teams, maybe not in the best 10 teams. But they're gonna be decent replacements. Black Lightning deserves C tier, I guess. Decent Arena Champions Arena, I hate him as the boss. Batwoman, I'm gonna give her D tier. She might deserve C tier, but I'm gonna give her D tier because the King Robin having her AI made me realize how much I hate her AI. As far as her basic attack hits go and how you use her. Multiverse Captain Cold, D tier. But Sigvald, he's like able to, just by being in your roster, make your multiverse characters immune to armor pierce. Yeah, bro, he's gonna give a minor, very situational buff to some characters that are in the B tier. That's why he deserves a tier higher. Tell me more. Multiverse Green Arrow, C tier, I guess, is yet again decent in Arena Champions Arena. Nothing too special. Multiverse Supergirl, C tier, yet again decent in Arena Champions Arena. Multiverse White Canary, C tier, I guess. Decent in Arena Champions Arena. Multiverse Wonder Woman. Not Multiverse, Mythic Wonder Woman, C tier, yet again. She has synergy with the Justice League team, but you're not gonna do that. You're just not gonna put her with Cyborg in the same team because you got Flash. Flash is gonna be dealing damage for you. We love Flash. We don't like Wonder Woman. She's got junky, weird basics. We got Nightwing. C tier, decent in Arena Champions Arena. Rat or Batman? B tier. I think I exaggerated in last tier list where I gave him A tier. He's gonna be a jack of all trades, master of none. He can kind of be a budget damage hitter, though please don't really do that. He can be a setup for Sir Banshee. He can be a stunt setup for the League of Anarchy. So there's a lot of things that he can do, but he's not gonna be the best at any of them. So I feel like B tier is a decent spot for him. Power Girl, and also I'm gonna look for Dr. Fate, A tier. Where's Dr. Fate? Where's Silver? There he is. Those guys are gonna always be here. They are actually at the top of A tier, maybe arguably worth S tier. What they're gonna do, very simple, reduce the power bar cost of one of their teammates, actually of the entire team, by 2 power bars. Those characters have been in the game. Dr. Fate has been there since launch, Power Girl has been there since the additional League raids, and we had a ton of stuff coming in and out of the meta, a lot of teams shifting around. You know what never changed? The need for those two. You're never gonna run out of teams that are gonna need to use cheaper specials. That's just never gonna happen. Powered Supergirl, it's gonna be D tier. She's trash, though she's kinda hot, not gonna lie. Primal Swamp Thing, one of the 2 characters I was talking about, is in the SS tier. I'm obviously joking, fucking D tier, trash, get out of here. Raiden, C tier, I guess he's decent in Arena Champions Arena. Man, that was Raiden, now getting into Raven. SS tier, I feel like. She can do a lot of things for the free-to-play side of things. Maybe your only interaction with her so far was boosting the League of Anarchy, and she's very good at that, but after your League of Anarchy gets to the point where they do 2 billion damage by themselves, you can use her with Kimflan Sakman plus Dark Metal cards, or with Manta plus Dark Metal cards, and you're gonna get close, if not to 2 billion damage. She can boost a lot of things. She can make kind of almost any character in the game deal a ton of damage. I love her. King Robin, A tier, I guess. Yet again, it's kind of in the same boat with those 2 guys in terms of dealing percentage health damage. And he's also kind of in the same boat with those two guys buffing Batwoman the Drowned. But the thing is, I honestly don't like him at buffing Batwoman the Drowned more than I like those 2 guys. Like, they do a better job without having to actively do something, because the way she buffs her is by applying a negative effect on the enemy, and you need to constantly tag him in and out. It's annoying. Those 2 lads are honest. Just put them in the team, leave them there. You can never tag them in, and they give you the buff. And yeah, I feel like he's A tier for now. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future we can see a tier bump up for him. By the way, how is this looking? Is there anything I missed that should have been? Raven is better for the pay-to-win side of things, but only a bit better, not that much better, because she's amazing for the free-to-play side of things as well. Yeah, there's nothing more here. Also, keep in mind, you look at this, it doesn't mean Raven it's better than it doesn't mean Grodd is better than Raven. It means that Grodd is much better for the pay to win side of things than it was in this tier list, okay? And Raven's just better, and Raven being S tier and being even better for the pay to win side of things makes her the best fucking character on this part of the tier list, okay? I'm even gonna put her here so we don't get any confusion, okay? Where were we? I was talking about something. Yeah, Robin King doesn't really fit in a lot of teams now. He does some percentage hull damage, though he's kind of annoying to get that done. He buffs Batman the Drown, though he's kind of annoying to get that done. I really don't like that they gave him the Batwoman AI. The Multiverse Batman AI, I think Batman Catwoman AI would have been a much better fit. And the Multiverse Batman is amazingly annoying AI, actually. When I say AI, I'm talking about the specific movements of the character, how the character does the combos and all that stuff. Right, I just checked if I turned on the recording. Imagine 36 minutes into this without recording it. That would have been interesting to say the least, but we're thankfully recording. My boy Red Hood, B tier. Situational support character for raids and soul raids, but arguably at the top of B tier because he's gonna be good for a lot of things. He's good for Mr. Freeze, he's good for Batman the Drowned. If you're missing one of those two guys, you just increase the duration of the fights. Easy money. This man, C tier, I guess. He's got the passive that gives you stun resistance for the amount of might characters you have in your team, so that might have some specific uses. We have two Black Canary characters. I don't know which is the silver version or which is the gold version, and it doesn't matter because they're both shit, by the way. Silver Banshee, I feel like also B tier. She's like at the top of B tier. I love Silver Banshee. She is a good budget damage dealer, but she's kind of uncomparable to anything we got in the A tier, so it would be unfair to bump her higher than D tier. Sir Batman C tier, I guess, can be it does everything that Predator Batman does to an extent, but worse. We got the other Catwoman also D tier, but Sigval, she also gives you more gold in the operations. You're gonna get no gold plus bets instead of no gold. Silver Cyborg. C tier, I guess, because he has some regeneration while he's tagged out of combat. Like, look, I'm trying. Deadshot D tier. But Sigval, the Silver Deadshot gives you like crit chance, you know? Just put it on the build, brother. Put it on the damn build, okay? Speed Force Flash and Flash himself are actually gonna be at C tier for me instead of D tier because they do something somewhat useful in some specific situation. They give you some fast actions, right? But Sigval, just put the fast actions on the build, brother. No, it's a bit different situation here, okay? Because, for example, I have my Silver Banshee, right? I don't need fast actions for Silver Banshee, obviously, because she's got a combo builder that's gonna build that combo for her. But if I'm using her in a Chaos Dragon fight where she's gonna be the only character alive, because that's how you want to play a Chaos Dragon fight, because that's the most optimal way, and she's gonna end up in that very, very rare situation where she builds combo for herself, then some fast actions on her will not be the worst thing, okay? So some very specific use out of both of them. Silver Green Arrow, D tier. I don't care about him. Silver Grodd, D tier. Silver Green Lantern, B tier. Niche support character, specific use support character, we put him in the same team with Manta and he gives Manta a shield. Now the great thing about that shield is that until it gets used, you're not gonna get staggered when the enemy hits you. And that's very good for combo interrupting without actually having to combo interrupt. Silver Harley is also dog shit. Shazam is gonna be also in the B tier, situational support character. Very good in Arena and Champions Arena, can heal your ass a lot. Gives you a bit of attack, though the amount of attack he gives you is negligible in raids and soul raids. Silver Robin, C tier yet again can be actually very good combo builder, but we have no teams that need combo builders. That's the only problem. Then we have Silver Scarecrow, D tier trash, Loser Dr. Fate, absolute trash. No, for some reason this is one of the most asked questions, like in the channel in total, or the most reoccurring question. Is Sorcerer Dr. Fate passive work for raid bosses, which is the swap held on Super? No, it doesn't. We're gonna have the full Suicide Squad. I'm gonna drop them in C tier. Just be happy I didn't drop them in D tier. They're gonna be good in Raid 9 Champions Arena, don't get me wrong. They're gonna be useless in raids and soul raids. And you have a team that's gonna be good in Raid 9 Champions Arena that requires 2 legendary characters that are gonna only drop from chests, and they're gonna have gears that only drop from chests. Nah, bro. Why would you? Super Superman C tier, I guess, because people will get mad about this one if I don't. There's something SS tier, obviously. Nah, bro. D tier trash. Starfire, normally C tier, but D tier because I hate her as a boss. Joker, D tier. The Mortal Kombat guy, Sub-Zero, C tier, I guess. He's got some reason stuff. Primal Swamp Thing is gonna be T tier. Yet again, we might be a bit better when we see more just like dark teammates, but currently he's not doing that much. He's more of a niche situational support character. Silver Wonder Woman D tier, Telekinetic Rod D tier, they are both trash. Reverse Flash B tier. He is a situational combo builder. That depends on if you're using the Bench team or not, but he's gonna be very good at building combo. You need combo build, this man is gonna do it. Problem is, all the teams that are above B tier don't really need combo builds. But if you got something that needs combo build, Reverse Flash has got you. He's the better alternative of Martian Manhunter, actually. You get this man, it's very hard to get him, and he's less convenient to actually play than Reverse Flash Lock. Actually, nah, I can't give him D tier, though I would want to. Unbreakable Cyborg D tier, he's trash. Unhinged Harley D tier. Warrior Queen Wonder Woman D tier, they are all trash. And Vixen is gonna be like B tier, again, situational support character. Now let's like go back to this, because I think there might be some more things worth mentioning in the pay to win side of things. Not really so far. No, I think we're good for the pay to win side of things. Those are kind of the only 2 characters that actually will benefit you more if you got some pay to win artifacts. Let me know in the comments if you think I missed something or more characters had been in this place. Let me know if you think I missed something over here, or if you would have done anything differently. We can have a civilized chat about it in the comments. And yeah, all that being said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure to subscribe for more content, and yeah, goodbye.